This is section 5.2, number 2. This is the integral. You would read that from 5 to 7 of f of x dx. And what I did was I came over here. This is f of x. And I'm supposed to find the integral. So I look, you have to do this between the x-axis and the curve. So it's not over here anywhere. It's going to be this area right in here. And I'm just going to use 1/2 the base times the height. Now, if I do 1/2, the base is 2, and the height is 3. So 2 by 3 there. It's going to be 1/2 of 6, which is 3. There's one thing that happens with integrals. They can be negative if it's under the x-axis. And this is under the x-axis, so this is a negative value. Just indicates that that area is below the x-axis. The one before, everything was above the x-axis, so that was a 4. All right, let's go ahead and do number 3. Number 3 says, find the integral from 0 to 9 of f of x dx. All right, 0 to 9. Well, 0 to 9 would be all of this and all of this up to here. So we're talking about this positive and this negative part. Well, let's see, we already have 0 to 2. That was 4 in here. 0 to 2. We did that, number 1. This looks like, what, 3? Just go 1 times 3. It's a rectangular. And this is a triangle, so that's 1/2, 2 times 3. So that's going to be 3. Right? 1/2, 2 times 3. Yep. And then we know that this negative 6, what was that negative? I'm sorry, not negative 6, is 6. This negative value was negative 3 in here. We got that just this last one right here. The integral from 5 to 7 is negative 3. So this is negative 3 from 5 to 7. Let's see, what else should we do? Well, we can see that it's 1, 2, 3, 4 in here. So it'll be 4 here, but then we get this little triangle here. What is that? That little triangle is going to be 1/2 times 2 times 1. I'm kind of looking at it backwards, but 1/2 this 2 times 1 is 1. All right. So let's try to figure all this out. This is going to be equal to 4 plus 3 plus 3 minus 3 minus 4 minus 1. So that's what I did. I did 4 plus 3 plus 3 minus 3 minus, this part was 3. No, it's 4. Yeah, minus 4. I can't read my own handwriting. And this is minus 1 as well because it's under. And when I put that all together, what do I get? No. 2. Yep. So the integral, that area, that total area from 0 to 9 of f of x dx is 2. Last one, the integral of g of x dx from 0 to 7. G of x is this one. So we're supposed to go from 0, x equals 0 to 7. So we're talking about this area in here, this triangle. It's going to be positive. And below, this is a semicircle. And then above, right there. A little triangle there. So my first part is going to be 1/2 the base times the height. So 1/2 the base is 2 times 4. And now I'm going to, I have to subtract because this is below the axis. And this is a semicircle, so pi r squared is a circle, and a semicircle is going to be 1/2 pi r squared. And my radius, if I look at this, radius is from here out, so that's 2, goes there. So there's the semicircle, and then that last little triangle here is 1/2 1 times 1, and that's above the x-axis, and if we put that together, what is that? That's 4 minus, let's see, 2 times 2 is 4 divided by 2 is 2 pi, plus 0.5 gives me, what, 4.5 minus 2 pi, which is about negative 1.783. All right, that takes care of section 5.2. There's a little bit of theory up here that I'll let you read through, but in 5.1, when we did R4, we were looking at f of x equal x squared from 0 to 1, and we were using the right-hand endpoint was our x1 star, and what I did was I wrote out that delta x, and then you add those 4 right endpoints, and that is a way of writing it as the sum from I equal 1 to 4 of f of x sub I delta x. All right, that's 5.2. See you later.